Finding your personal color palette can feel incredibly confusing when different systems give you completely different answers. Today, I'm pulling back the curtain to reveal what these systems are really looking for and why understanding their hidden criteria can finally help you trust your own judgment. Have you explored all the style systems and still not found yourself in any of them? I'm Rebecca Milkey, and I translate personality and style systems into design principles you can use to create a signature style that actually feels like you. As your first step to self-discovery, I invite you to download my guide to seasonal energy and personality colors. You can find the link in the show description or at my website, signaturestylesystems.com. The reason you get conflicting personal color palette results isn't because one analyst is right and another one's wrong. It's because they're looking for completely different optical illusions, because none of this actually changes anything about your coloring. It's just what it looks like in comparison to another color. So a few weeks ago, I explained that analysts in the Caygill tradition are looking for specific energetic effects by season. So springs should look fresh and animated. Summers should appear refined and graceful. Autumns should look rich and substantial, and winters should appear dramatic and striking. These aren't just aesthetic preferences, sorry, aesthetic preferences. They're systematic goals. They're goals of the system. So here's some more. Korean color analysts, I've learned, prioritize making clients look paler and more delicate. Some European systems focus on enhancing natural hair and eye color. Then there's certain approaches that emphasize making skin look uniform. Some systems focus on making the skin look almost perfect, eyes clear, uh, teeth whiter, etc. And then there's other approaches that seek balance, where all the features harmonize and colors within your face look like they belong together. Finally, some analysts are specifically looking for definition of features and bone structure. So my friend figured this out for herself. She's been frustrated by the ideas of color analysis for years because, as she put it, it's so subjective. It's not objective. She realized that what we call color analysis is really about optical illusions. And the question becomes, who decides which optical illusion we prefer? Even trained analysts using the same system don't always agree. And there's a reason for this. So I have a colleague who trained in professional draping. She told me that at her certification workshop, several expert instructors were present, and they didn't always reach the same conclusion about the clients. Even with standardized drapes and controlled lighting, human perception introduces subjectivity. I was going to tell you about the famous artist Johannes Itten. Discovered this when he had art students paint, and they instinctively chose colors for their art that matched their personal coloring. Um, Also, what analysts consider harmony could vary based on their own aesthetic preferences and training. I even notice, like, I do feel like sometimes I get the most compliments on colors that are just based on what the person who's complimenting me likes. Cultural backgrounds influence what looks healthy or attractive to different people. And then personal biases about skin tone, contrast levels, and color intensity, those all affect professional judgment. Or, if you're just having your friends look at it. So my friend articulated this beautifully when she said, "My own aesthetic is not something I feel like I understand. It's easily malleable. If I think someone I care about will like something, I like it." This is actually really common for people who have EJ personality types in the Myers-Briggs system, which my friend does. I also do. Um, People with that their four-letter code starts with E and ends with J, they often struggle trusting their own what they like for themselves, their aesthetic instincts, because their inferior function, which is either introverted feeling or introverted thinking, that's their introverted judging function. So that's the subjective kind of judging function. This is my preference kind of judging function. And so it makes them uncertain about their own personal preferences. Then I recently realized this is interesting. The people with the opposite personality types with dominant introverted feeling or introverted thinking can have the opposite problem. They're really sure of their personal aesthetic and what they prefer, but they're very uncertain about how they're perceived by others. And so that can cause uncertainty. So anyway, instead of just asking, do I like this color? You can develop more specific criteria for evaluation. So my friend started with a simple metric years ago. She just looked at herself and was like, okay, what makes my lips look redder versus making them disappear? And so reds, some of them became some of her best colors. But then her sister-in-law shared a completely different priority. She didn't want to wear reds because they highlighted um, unevenness about her skin that she didn't want to highlight. She preferred colors that made her skin look yellower rather than pulling out the red undertones. So here are some different things that different people would look for. Colors that make your eyes appear lit from within. That's that's my favorite one, or the one that I usually look for. But I guess my favorite one is colors which create what I call like a wash of highlighted beauty across your face, just something that you put on that kind of just makes you look better, look like you're glowing. You can look at colors that even out your skin tone and make it look smoother rather than splotchy. So like um, in David Zyla's book, he suggests like looking at the palm of your hand. You can do this when you go to the store shopping. You can put your hand out against the color. And if all of the colors in your hand sort of stand out from each other or separate, that's probably not as good of a color for you as if it all sort of blends together, at least for this particular criteria. Colors that make your teeth appear whiter and your eye color more defined. So years ago, when I used to blog a lot, I discovered that if my lipstick was very cool, it made my teeth look more yellow. And then this one's pretty important and let's maybe a little bit less objective, but colors that make you feel energized versus drained when you look in the mirror. So here's some warning signs that a color isn't working. You might see white patches appearing around your chin or under your eyes. This is common if the color's too cool for you. You could have a stone-like gray complexion or overall sallowness, like sallowness with yellowed appearance. I actually remember years ago when I was before I think, took the training to do colors. I remember seeing a guy at church. He was wearing like a really bright blue sweater, and he must have had warm, like yellow skin tone because he looked green. And that's probably not good. Okay, so your eye color might become less defined, or the whites of your eyes might look dull. Uh, Facial features could start to pinch in toward the center of your face. The color could make skin imperfections seem more obvious, or you might just have an instant gut reaction that makes you feel tired or even slightly nauseous. So my friend had a breakthrough when she chose light pink glasses specifically to make her face look smoother and less splotchy. And she said they really did make my face look smoother. That was an optical illusion I liked for my skin. Here's what most personal color palette systems don't emphasize enough. You need to get your value contrast right. It matters more often than finding the perfect hues. So value contrast is the difference between your lightest and darkest natural features, your hair, your skin, and your eyes. It's primarily your hair and your skin. Some people are naturally high contrast. If you have really white skin and dark hair, or really dark skin and white hair. Others are low contrast, if your hair and your skin are fairly close to the same. And lots of people are somewhere in the middle. So a high contrast person can wear stark combinations like black and white beautifully. But a low contrast person is going to look washed out in that. But they're going to glow in colors that are closer together in color value, dark or light. You can wear wrong colors, or maybe colors that aren't your very best, if you can wear them successfully if you get the value contrast right for your natural contrast level. This explains why some people feel like their color analysis worked for special occasions, but it wasn't quite right for everyday life. And it's something I think that a lot of color systems don't really weave into their teaching. So most people think personal color palette analysis is objective science, but it's actually deeply subjective. And understanding what different systems are really looking for can help you trust your own judgment. Here's something simple you can do this week to integrate these principles into your wardrobe. Choose one special effect you want to start looking for. Like for me, the first place I look is, do my eyes look like they're lit from within? You might choose, like my friend did, something that makes your lips look redder, or you could choose to make your skin look smoother, whatever's important to you. Every time you put something on, train your eye to look for this one effect. If you're ready to discover your natural contrast level and learn how to work with it effectively, I invite you to explore my Essential Signature Style Guide. This is a comprehensive analysis that reveals your contrast level, and it includes pages of examples showing you how to apply this knowledge to create a signature style that truly works for your unique life and look. Thanks for being here for the Signature Style Systems podcast. Have fun being you, and I will meet you back here again real soon.